What is crackin', folks? I'm Dylan and you're watching H3 Humper. Today I'll be showing you how to replace spark plugs on an H3 Hummer. Let's do it. I'll disconnect the negative battery terminal. I'll remove the air intake tubing so I have access to the coil on plugs. I have a aftermarket setup here with the original big black Vortec baffle. There's a couple of bolts to remove. Plenty of room to access this row of coil on plugs. And now I'll go ahead and disconnect each of those coil pack connectors. Remove the 10mm bolts. And I'll just be able to pull each of these out. Disconnect each of these plugs. Alright, pull these coil packs right out of there. They just pop out like that. And the spark plug lives down in that dark hole. As I remove each coil and each spark plug, I'm going to set them down and label them with a Sharpie marker so I can take note of any information the spark plug gives me based on what they look like. And it might be helpful to pop the two securing tabs off of this harness cover here. I've had bad luck with the little clips snapping, however, so I just go ahead and pull this first coil and plug out without touching that harness. And I've got my spark plug socket here, and I strongly recommend using one of these instead of a normal deep well. This has a little rubber sleeve where the spark plug will slide right into, and it kind of grabs it so you can just pull it right up, and it works really well setting the new spark plug back down. So let's get in there. Holy cow, that plug is stuck in there. I'm going to take a little bit of pea blaster, squirt it down into the hole. Hopefully it'll just kind of seep in through the threads a little bit. So I ended up having to use a breaker bar and just twist from tightening to loosening, tightening, loosening just a little bit, and finally it broke loose. Now I can get the rest of it off with a normal ratchet. The threads are pretty nasty looking. That's an old corroded plug, holy cow. Label the plugs. I'll keep doing that for all 5, and then I can compare them side by side, see what's happening in there. Number 2 plug loosened right up. Oh yeah, the threads on that noticeably better. Yeah, that's interesting. Another clean looking set of threads. And here's a little comparison of the new plug compared to the old. I'll show you what I was saying with the handy spark plug socket. Press it down, and that little rubber boot inside the socket actually holds the spark plug in, so I can hold it upside down and install it into the cylinder head without it dropping out and messing up the spark plug gap. Went in there nice and smooth, no cross threading. If it's not screwing in smoothly, don't force it in. Now I'm torquing the spark plugs down to 13 foot-pounds. And the service manual recommends replacing this bottom rubber boot on the coil. I'll go ahead and reinstall them. I'm just tightening these down decent by hand. Reconnect these connectors onto the coils. Double check that they're all secure. Reconnect the battery terminal. Everything's all put back together, and that's how you change the spark plugs on the H3 Hummer. Thanks for watching.